All right. I think this might be the last one for the day.
Yeah, I gotta leave soon.
Okay. So welcome back to the To Be Better podcast show, question and answer with the Chris's. We really have to figure out a scripted intro.
We do. I don't know. I like this.
Random nonsense.
Yeah, you're just trying your best every time.
Every time. Giving it my all. So we normally do podcasts on Sundays. We have fielded a lot of questions, received emails, and we are trying to do shorter format question and answers for content for you guys to shorten the length of the podcast. Otherwise, we would be at like 5 hours on Sunday. So we're trying to get it to stay between an hour or two. And we've answered a bunch of questions today. There'll be content throughout the week. And then even though Christmas is Sunday, there will still be a podcast live on Sunday. Fielding questions from TikTok. I answered this on my TikTok, which is Odin's Ink, for those of you who don't follow me. And she is inked_goddess13, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watch you every time to make sure you get it right because you should know it.
Yeah, I know, but it's the underscore thing that always messes me up.
You get it right.
Okay. So this says on here, somebody asked me, as far as intimacy, if she isn't in the mood and you are, do you get angry if she tells you no? And my initial response, go ahead.
He beats me.
Oh, come on. You ask for it.
I do. Every single time. If it doesn't hurt, I don't want it.
Oh. Damn. What was I talking about? You're right.
Do you get angry at me if I'm not in the mood?
Right. So I was going to initially answer that with of course not.
Right.
Like, obviously, people get tired. It's not that big of a deal. And then I actually made the video and got in depth. And one of the things that I said in the video was that in the event that it went on, so let me back up. I said in the video that if it was a day, it builds anticipation.
Right.
Gives us a reason to send dirty text messages and to be excited and lustful and intimate throughout the day. So we have that whole build up before we have playtime, whether it be at night or the next morning or whatever the case may be. That's good. It's healthy.
Right.
That's good for people. Now, in the event that you were exhausted or tired or had bubble guts and didn't want to for months or weeks, days,
right,
and
it's
you kept shutting me down, that's a problem. And of course, communication would happen. I obviously didn't say that right there in the video because I figured with as much as I make content about communication, that
it's just a given.
It's a given, right? We talk about these kind of things around here. This is not simp talk. This is TikTok. It's my TikTok. We are communication talk. People are dumb. So, and I mean that.
Yeah.
Right? So now I'm getting questions because people are like, well, the next part of the video, I said that if it goes on for a really long duration where there's a dry spell or whatever, that there needs to be a conversation had and an arrangement's made. And of course,
people immediately jump to, you're going to seek it elsewhere.
Right.
Which blows my mind.
Because that is not at all where I was going with that.
This is actually a really crazy concept, but not all men just want to chase.
I mean, it's here, but that's just it. So like, fucking people, man. When I said make an arrangement, I meant like Saturday is sexy night.
Right.
We're going to do it on Wednesdays and Sundays. Like, set a schedule. Have a conversation about what's going on and why sex isn't happening. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you're overworked. Maybe you don't feel attractive. Maybe I've gotten out of shape. Maybe my breath stinks and I've got a cavity and I just don't know it.
Like, I could be depressed.
There could be so many reasons why sex isn't happening. And when that conversation is had, it's all going to get hashed out. Right. And when I mention the arrangements, everybody's like, oh, well, that sounds threatening. The word arrangement sounds threatening.
It sounds like something from your past is being triggered.
Tell me you have trauma without telling me you have trauma. Tell me you haven't done the dirty work on yourself and you are hung up on shit that has nothing to do with me. I get so aggravated with the dumb shit that is said on TikTok that at least once a day I want to delete that app off my phone.
I feel that, yeah.
So let's talk about the question, because in the event that I want it and you don't, apparently people think that the answer is to just go cheat or to get it elsewhere.
Right.
If that's what I wanted as a man, and that was the only thing that mattered to me was getting laid, I would never get into a relationship.
Right.
Ever. Because there's a thrill of a hunt. The dating phase and trying to get to know people and find new women and have that whole new buildup over and over and over again every single time. Right? That would be more exciting than being told no over and over and over and over and over again until an arrangement has to be made.
Right.
Companionship and intimacy is not sex. Sex can be intimate, But there is a lot of other, and that was another thing somebody brought up. Every time I talk about sex in a video and I talk about intimacy, there's always at least one person in the comments going, well, not intimacy. Intimacy is not just sex. Really? Tell me you haven't seen videos where I've talked about dancing in the kitchen with your woman. Tell me that you haven't seen the videos where I've talked about holding their hand while you're driving in the car, and how long car rides with no distractions is one of the most intimate things that you can do because you don't have the radio on. You're holding hands. You're having a discussion that's not being interrupted by nonsense. Like, that's a form of intimacy.
Right.
The dating pool needs a lot of bleach. Yeah. Chlorine, some shock in there.
When you looked at me, that was the last thing I was expecting you to say. So.
I get so frustrated with the nonsense that people spew. And like
it's not even just nonsense. It's people trying to have an I got you moment.
Constantly.
Like they're trying to trip you up and see how you're going to react.
And it's always people that don't follow me.
Right.
I always go, before I respond to a comment, I always look. And my first response is to utterly destroy these people.
Right.
But I've gotten so many account violations that I can't do that anymore. So I have to really dial it back and play the nice guy and just be like, well, tell me, why do you feel that way?
I just started thanking people for their contribution to the conversation.
Yeah.
When in all reality, outside of their universe, they just look stupid.
Well, for me, the more they comment and the more they continue to come back and comment, they're actually generating us revenue.
Right.
So in that aspect, I've actually made videos sincerely thanking people like, hey, I really appreciate you shitting on me in the comments, because the more you come back to my page, the more I'm going to show up in your FYP. And the more I'm going to get views, the more interactions I'm going to get. You are literally making me money on TikTok. Sincerely, I thank you.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I should just block this guy. But if they just took the extra second to watch videos or to see,
To actually comprehend.
right, what's going on, the conversation, they wouldn't have to do that. So in the event, let's switch it around now. We're 7 minutes in, and I've been ranting this entire time because I want to drown people in a public toilet. In the event, a dirty gas station, just take a deep breath, just breathe, head underwater. In the event that I said no, would you get mad?
I'd burn the house down.
Yeah.
Can't deny me that. How dare you tell me no?
That might be our first violation on YouTube.
What?
In seriousness, even when I'm depressed,
Right.
in times where I am exhausted, mentally exhausted, and if you were to try, I would indulge you, whether I wanted to or not, because part of our dynamic is that you can't go get that intimacy from anyone else. We are in a monogamous relationship. So if you need attention, it's my job to give you the attention. Same thing for you.
Right.
But if you're not feeling well and you just verbalize that, like, hey, I'm not feeling good, I'd be like, cool, tomorrow. Same thing. And I know that even though I would indulge, if I was really not feeling good, I'd be like, babe, not tonight. Like, I'm really having a hard time. Then we'd end up having a conversation about why things are the way they are. But what if it was months? What if it was weeks? Like, how would you respond to that? Would you get angry?
No, I wouldn't be angry.
Would you give me an arrangement?
I would be genuinely concerned because you can't stay off of me. So if there's ever an extended period of time where you're not feeling it, I'm going to ask you if you have cancer.
Yeah.
Like, are you dying? What's the issue? And it's also unfathomable to me that all of a sudden you're just not into me.
Right.
If there is a reason that you don't want to touch me or you don't want to be intimate with me, what am I doing to push you away?
Right. So some of the comments that I got on that video were things like, well, my man doesn't have a sex drive, period. To which I'm like, well, he needs to get his hormones checked.
Right.
Like, there
when
could
was
be
you last tested?
he needs to have his blood panel done. There could be other issues there. And then immediately somebody was like, well, he probably watches too much porn. How is it that that's where we go? Like, that's my thought process. Like, we have people in the comment section that says something. I read it, and my first thought process is he needs to get blood work done.
Right.
There could be something hormonally off.
Yeah.
The very next comment, well, he probably watches too much porn.
It's a couple of things. Women are insecure. Not all women, but there are women who are insecure. And their first thought is, well, if he doesn't want me, he's getting it elsewhere.
Right.
Or they have been in such shitty relationships that every time something like that has happened, it's because he's watching porn or he's watching thirst traps on TikTok. it is the quality of person that you trust to be with.
Right. It really comes down, just pick better people.
Right.
I don't, I get so frustrated with TikTok and the trolls. I wish that they would just ease up on their harassment and bullying shit so that I can actually respond to these people the way I want to respond to them.
Right.
Because they're putting their shitty life experiences onto other people. And it's not just me. Like, it is what it is. You can shit on me all you want. 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to keep scrolling. I don't really care. Sometimes you want my attention, I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to make you look like a dumbass. And that's fun for me. But most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'm scrolling past. But what I don't enjoy is when I'm seeing other people in the comments attacking other people who have left comments because they misread something or they're putting their life perspective into the conversation that has nothing to do with what we're actually talking about.
Right.
And like the porn aspect, you and I have had this discussion a lot. I believe that porn is destroying young men.
Yeah.
I think that the addiction to porn changes the way that people have relationships, not just sexually, but the way that they look at women and the way that they perceive sexual interactions and things like that. It actually creates a lot of problems that is now being solidified. People are proving that this is a thing.
I'm going to interject. I'm pretty sure there was a study done that shows that watching porn excessively chemically changes your brain and how you interact with somebody. Right. So research has shown that pornography use is correlated with a physical change in the brain. The visual stimulus of pornography hijacks the brain's reward system and overwhelms it with unnatural prolonged dopamine levels.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I finally got to use the applause button.
That tickled me.
So there's that. I don't, I say it on TikTok a lot that the people that are in the comment sections on my videos are very bitter. Mm-hmm. You can tell the ones who have had bad relationships and how shitty they have it.
Yeah.
And granted, we have a lot of really dope people that follow us.
We do.
Shout out to all of you guys. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. Some of the love that we get from you and the emails that we've received has been
Heartwarming.
insane.
Yeah.
But then there's always those people that don't follow that want to jump in and villainize either one of us, because you get it too.
Oh, I have people who follow me just to villainize.
Yeah.
Just to stir shit.
At least I don't have that.
Yeah.
Normally they just don't follow me and pop in and run their mouths and dip out. People have no lives.
They really don't do. I've actually had to go through and block people. Like, I've noticed patterns of it.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, this chick commented on a video like 2 days ago. And I'd be like, okay, now she's on my latest one. Now she's here. And it's always just negative shit trying to contradict the things that I say. And I'm like, honey, you're just putting yourself out there and exposing how bad of a person you are.
Yeah. And it's wild to me when the people who pay attention to what we're doing actually see it
Right.
and unload. Yeah, that makes me feel good too, because I can't
Right.
with the account violations, I can't say shit. And other people are like, hey, you're a dumbass. I'm like, yes. I don't have anything else on this.
All right. I want to keep going, but it's already been
It's
X amount of minutes.
It's been almost 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You gonna stop and go to the next one?
Let's stop and go to the next one.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.